This is Taylor Edrington with Royal Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the oldest fly shop and fly fishing guide service and only Orbis endorsed outfitter on the Arkansas River Basin. Coming to you live from Bighorn Sheep Canyon on the Arkansas River Freestone. Thanks so much for being here today. A breathtaking morning here in early July on the Arkansas River Freestone. We have had a fantastic last week of fishing, beginning around the July 4th week, and things are only getting better and better on the Arkansas. Fish are certainly tucked against the edges still. We've got some great, what we term fishing in a barrel opportunities for those of you that can get here soon. However, flows are coming down rapidly now. We're at about 950 to 1,000 CFS in Bighorn Sheep Canyon as of today. And we will stabilize in that 750 to 800 CFS window. Our voluntary flow management program mandates that we maintain a level of 750 CFS plus until August 15th. And so we will see those flows here shortly and see them maintain until August 15th. So another several weeks at that flow rate before we enter the fall season and a little bit lower flows on the river. Like I said, a lot of great opportunities right now. We are certainly moving into the summer prime time category. A lot of bugs present on the river right now. I just stepped into the water here and I've seen yellow sallies, a ton of hoppers on the banks. There are a few PMDs hatching here this morning. We've got some flying ants kicking around. We've got caddis in the air, a few mosquitoes here and there. A lot of aquatic invertebrate life. You know, the stoneflies are crawling right now. They're also hatching. You name it. It's kind of like a buffet line out there. So what do we do in order to combat a lot of options? Well, we really focus in the month of July and early August on attractor dry dropper rigs, streamer fishing, and nymphing with a variety of attractor nymphs that cover a lot of bases. So this morning, when the light is lower, you can tell the light is very low here this morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. I'm going to really take advantage of an opportunity that fish are looking up. You know, when the light is low, typically that's the best time to get fish on the surface. So early morning and in the evening, those are your times to really get that single dry fishing going or dry dropper fishing going with great success. I've also got a streamer rig, okay? So I've got two rods rigged I'm gonna carry here this morning. I've got a streamer rig and then I've got a dry dropper rig. Get a little bit closer just so you can see what we're working with here. Dry dropper rig features a Wonder Boy hopper up top, a fantastic fly to support weight, very visible, great floater, like I said. And then I've got a thrasher for my dropper here, okay? And you can tell a long drop. We're still dealing with around 900 CFS, so even fish that are on the soft edges, you know, are in, say, 20 to 30 inches of water. So you still need to get down to them. And so a little bit longer drop right now in summer prime time. And then on my streamer rig, again, I love low light for throwing streamers. Really any time of day to throw streamers during this time period. I've got a baby rainbow imitation here, and that's in the swim coach pattern category. And then I've got a little minnow imitation, just to represent that baby brown trout, baby rainbow trout. When I put that big fly in the zone, when I put it in front of fish, usually that's my attractor. It's going to pull them out, and then that dropper underneath, very close, you can tell those are close together, about 8 inches apart, is the fly that seals the deal, right? Many times you'll put that big fly in front of them. This fly's, say, 5 inches long, and they'll eat that sucker, right? But many times also, you know, that fly is going to be the attractor. It's going to pull them out, and we're going to seal the deal with what I term the trap door, and that's that trailer streamer. Okay, so I've got a streamer rig and I've got a dry dropper rig ready to roll. That's what I'm going to fish in the morning, in the evening, lower light, and then in the middle of the day, still some great opportunities because the water temps are still cool. They're in the mid 50s, high 50s, low 60s on the warmest days. And so we can really do well tight line nymphing, drop shot rig, or indicator nymphing, and getting down to those fish when they're not as likely to be looking up for that dry dropper rig. They're still feeding heavily. You know, you got to understand that the summer window is a time period where fish are very, very opportunistic. They understand that it's time to eat as many calories as possible, and you will have some great options nymphing in the middle of the day when the sun is high. So that's our mindset going into things. I'm going to show you a few patterns back at the fly shop, just to kind of understand what might be in our guides boxes for the next month or so during summer prime time through the month of July and really August. Very similar patterns, you know, all in those bug categories that I mentioned before. You know, then, you know, you really want to focus on understanding the type of water to fish. We're still fishing those softer pockets. We're still fishing those seam lines, those edges. Even when fish begin to spread out, when we get sub, say, 800 CFS, they're still in those softer pockets behind boulder structure. That's key for you to understand, is that holding water will be very, very important. It's a lot of water to cover. There is so much water to choose from on the Arkansas River, the most public water of any river in the state of Colorado. And so if you pick a large section and you try to cover it all, you're gonna sometimes struggle. In the summer season, I recommend focusing on specific water, those outside lanes against the edges, softer pockets in the middle, and covering as much water as possible, because fish can be relatively spread out once the flows get lower. As of right now, in the next week or two, fish are all tucked against the edges. I'm going to show you here in just a moment kind of the water that we're looking for currently and moving forward through the summer season. And then, like I said, we'll go to the fly shop and look at some bugs up close and some options there. Alrighty, folks, so just a look at a small section here. This is an excellent example of really what to look for and what we term those outside lanes, softer edges, and you know, the opportune holding water for fish in the summer season. As you can see, we've got a good, solid, heavy current tongue here where I'm pointing, right? Then on each side, we've got a softer lane. So you can see kind of where I'm dividing with my hand here. We've got a soft lane on river left, which would be river left looking downstream, this side of the river, okay? We've got a soft lane, you can tell, slicker, calm water here, okay? That is an opportune feeding lie for fish. You've got food coming down this heavy current line, right? That current tongue, and then it's getting washed into this softer edge, okay? On the other side, we have another lane. You can see on the other bank, we've got that slicker water right here, okay? And then we've got the heavier current tongue in the center. We've also got a really opportune structure, feature, another channel feeding the river here, which fish will definitely take advantage of, stack up on, especially when they've got softer current below it, okay? So you've got a lane here, we've got a lane on the far side, we've got these heavy current tongues in the center, okay, the heavier water, represented by the choppier white water, right? And you can just see much swifter current. We've got these seam lines, basically the dividing lines between the softer edge water, okay, and the heavier current. Fish during the middle of the day will push into those seam lines under kind of very close to the heavier current for shelter and also for feeding. So in the mornings and evenings, we're focusing on the softer edge, right? And then in the afternoons, we're looking at these a little bit more turbulent seam lines, okay? That's where fish will be holding primarily. Now, doesn't mean fish won't be spread out, and if we've got some rock features in the river, they may be in front, behind of those in the pocket water, right? But this is a great explanation of the more nondescript water, which typically is more difficult for anglers to diagnose. There's a lot of this on the Arkansas, a lot of pocket water, but also a lot of this style water. And so that is what we're focusing on in the summer season. Let's take a few casts with that dry dropper rig and see what we can find. Really want to focus on everything from the edge here. Alrighty folks, so this is that soft edge that we were talking about, and there is a fish opportunistic on the hopper right away. Now you can tell these fish are super hot in the summer, so we are using 4X typically, because if a fish gets in this heavy current, you will want to be ready for that. Awesome eat up that soft edge, that darker edge with the low light. That's what we're talking about. And here's our fish. Absolutely breathtaking, healthy as can be Arkansas River brown trout. Right in that average for this river. Look how healthy this beautiful fish is. Back you go. Summer prime time on the Arkansas. Get here. We are back in the fly shop, and I've got a bug board prepared for you here that will knock your socks off. We've of course got our attractor dry dropper focus, a few attractor nymphs here for double nymphing, euro nymphing, you name it. Our streamers, of course, very much in the mix. So let's start it off here. The hopper category is one that will be very important here for the next month or so. This is one of my new favorite patterns. It's called the Wonder Boy hopper. It's Charlie Craven's pattern. And that guy floats like a battleship. Can really support anything underneath it. Very visible. Fish seem to really love it too. It's got a great profile. That is the Wonder Boy hopper. We've got the True Golden. That's a golden stonefly. Foam body. We've got a lot of golden stones beginning to hatch, like I mentioned earlier. The Fat Angie, and this is that cinnamon gold color. So more of a golden stonefly, but also just a great attractor dry. Floats great. That is a go-to for me. I like a lot of tan colored attractor dries during this window of time in summer prime time. This is a water walker in tan. We've of course got a Yellow Sally attractor, and this is the Knobbler. It's kind of a chubby style dry fly and one of my go-tos. And then of course we cannot forget our double stack chubby. It's a chubby with 2 stacks of foam. This is the red one. Red is a key color moving through the summer season. Getting into more of our hatch matchers, this is a Never Sink Sally. So in that Yellow Sally category, this is the Fin Fetcher Yellow Sally, foam body, parachute style. Great when they're getting picky. That's a go-to for me. Similar pattern here. This is the Fin Fetcher Caddis. So there are a lot of caddis out there, olive, black, and tan. This is a better foam caddis with an olive foam body. We've got plenty of PMDs out there right now, folks. This is the Hotspot Comparadun PMD, and this is the Keller's Cripple PMD. Both great. You will see fish sipping on these in the softer edges and pockets for sure. Yellow Sallies, PMDs, starting to see a few red quills soon, so definitely keep that in mind. This is a fantastic cripple. It's definitely got those splayed wings for a spinner as well. And then don't forget your smaller attractor dries with black bodies, because there are a lot of flying ants and beetles and things of that nature. This is a Hippie Stomper, size 16 or 18 with a black body. Moving into our attractor nymphs, we've got a 2-bit stone, great lead fly or point fly in a Euro nymphing rig. We've got a jig style Jimmy legs or Pat's rubber leg with the peacock body. I do like the darker rubber legs in the summer season. A CDC Prince nymph tied on a jig hook, a great Euro nymphing staple. Great to throw under a large dry or to nymph with. Iron Sally tied on a jig. Again, great Euro nymphing fly or indicator nymphing fly. We've got a Spanish Bullet Yellow Sally. This is one of my absolute go-tos in the July window with all the Yellow Sally activity. Another great Yellow Sally, Josh Grafham's Golden Nugget. That's a new pattern and has been crushing fish here. And then the jig Amex. This is a crane fly. And there are crane flies beginning to hatch as well, so keep that in mind. Smaller nymphs, and again, these are more hatch matchers, but also good attractor nymphs. In the Euro nymphing category, these are 2 of my staples. This is called a CDC Thrasher. This is a great caddis imitation. We've got a waltz worm, great case caddis or crane fly larva crossover. We've got a GTI caddis. That's one of our staple breadwinners on the Arkansas and our surrounding tributaries. We've got a Lightsaber PMD. That's Phil Torellia's pattern. We've got a Panty Dropper PMD. That's a great little rubber leg style PMD. We've got Juan Ramirez's Split Back Slim Shady PMD, and you can see on this guy, it's got that yellow hit on the split back. We've got a Quildagon, which fishes great as a PMD or a Yellow Sally if you want to size it up a little bit. And then don't forget our red quill nymphs. They are prevalent now and will be in the forefront here in early August and through the fall season. And this is the fullback Napoleon. Again, showing you a lot of Euro style nymphs, but the key there is, number one, it's tied on a jig, so it rolls over on its back. We're not snagging as much with these jigs. It's not snagging the bottom as much, and also it applies great hook point pressure on the fish when you're hooked up. And then thirdly, they're heavier. They've got bigger beads, bigger slotted tungsten beads, and they just stay down and get in that strike zone. On the streamer category, we've got Peanut Envy up here. We've got a Circus Peanut. We've got a Boogeyman. Those are all size 6 doubles. And those are going to be great lead flies. If you want to run a double, a tandem streamer rig, you could run a Thin Mint or a Slump Buster underneath. Notice black and olive is what I'm showing you here. Alrighty folks, so we have covered a lot today, and rightfully so. It is summer prime time on the Arkansas River Freestone and our surrounding drainages here in the Royal Gorge region. So much great fishing ahead of us, folks. Of course, we've got a couple more weeks of prime edge fishing here on the Arkansas, but then a full summer season and fall season after that. We are looking forward to a great several months ahead of us here in the summer window. And of course, that fall season is one of our favorites. So that is going to be a lot of fun. Do keep in mind that all of the flies that we looked at today, those are all available at royalgorgeanglers.com. All 900 patterns that we have here in the bins or on the wall and the streamer wall are available on our website, or of course here in the fly shop. And we would love to see your face, walk through the door and get to talk fishing with you. We very much appreciate your support. Our 35th year in business. We couldn't do it without all of you. We love to give out great information. It's all about having more fun on the water and advancing our skill set. But we very much appreciate your support in fly sales and things of that nature when you need that stuff. Don't forget that we have a full complimentary guide service here at the fly shop, guiding on the Arkansas, both walk, wades, floats, private water, fantastic sections of private water on the Arkansas, the best on the river as far as that goes. We guide on the Arkansas tailwater, which is also coming back into play. 800 CFS down below the dam today and dropping, and we will have some great opportunities this summer on the tailwater. Our small drainages, backcountry, small creeks, high mountain lakes, we've got so many great opportunities. We've got Spinney and Antero Reservoir, which are 2 gold medal reservoirs just out our back doorstep here. We've got power boats on those reservoirs and fantastic guides positioned there as well. You name it, we've got it here at Royal Gorge Anglers. We hope to see you come in the fly shop or on the water sometime soon. Please let us know if you have any questions or if we can assist you with your next day on the water. RoyalGorgeAnglers.com is our website. You can always reach us at info@RoyalGorgeAnglers.com, or you can reach us toll free at 888-994-6743. Thanks so much for viewing today.